Hello everyone, my name is Lily, I'm a witch and I'm a tarot reader. Welcome to today's video, which is going to be part of my Pills of Magic series, and you can find it in the playlist that I will link somewhere around here. So, how are you today? As you've probably guessed, this video is going to substitute the weekly reading just for this week because I'm leaving for I have to travel for a week away from home, and it will be impossible for me to actually make a video of the weekly reading. So just for this week, I'm leaving you with this video. So I thought it was, important enough to know as a witch, what can you bring with you when you're traveling? So I'm going to tell you what I usually bring with me when I'm traveling, and then, you can tell me in the comments below what you think is most important for you as a witch to have with you at all times, even when you're far from home. And we all have those times when we need to leave for a short or a longer period of time, and what you bring with you, that also depends on the duration of your stay. So what I'm going to show you today is what I bring with me when I stay away for just a week tops. And of course, if I had to stay away from home for longer periods of time, I would probably take with me a lot more, because I would probably be traveling with a bigger suitcase, and yeah, that would be easier for me to take with me more of my implements and my magical all my magical stuff. So let's start this video with the most important thing that I take with me everywhere I go, and this is my tarot deck. I will never ever leave without my tarot deck, and that's because I mean it's for a lot of reasons actually. First, because I'm very attached to this deck and to the spirit I work with when I do my readings. So leaving it behind for a whole week, that would be like impossible for me. I would feel like there was something missing, like I would missing something very, very important in my life. So yeah, my tarot deck is the very first thing that I take with me whenever I'm traveling. So a little tip here, because it happened to me once so far, that I'm usually traveling by plane, so airport security, it can happen that the tarot decks, they can actually trigger the security when they pass through the scanners. That's because of the cards are usually laminated, so that triggers security. And it happened to me once that I had my deck inside my backpack, and it was somewhere deep in the backpack so that it wouldn't get ruined during the travel. And I had the police security at the airport, and they actually took all of my stuff out of my bag, and they had to examine my tarot deck, and they were a bit like, okay, what's this? These are just cards. And it was a bit, it was a weird moment for me, because this is my deck, and it's consecrated to the spirit I work with, so no one actually touches my deck. And when the airport security guys started taking the cards out of the bag, I was like, okay, I'm not liking this too much. But they're just doing their job, and of course they had to do that because the deck actually triggered their systems. So I was fine with it at the end. It was just a little, it was a bit of a weird feeling for me, having someone like I don't know touching my deck. Like, even people I know don't touch my deck unless I tell them to, unless I ask them to maybe do a reading like I did with my wife not so long ago. Like, I felt like I needed a reading, and I wasn't the one who had to do the reading. So I asked my wife, can you please do the reading for me with my deck and with the spirit I work with? So she did. But usually, you know, nobody touches my deck. So that's the end line of this. So yeah, tarot deck, that's the very first thing I pack, usually in my handbag whenever I'm traveling, because as I've learned, you know, at the airport security, I'm not gonna put my tarot deck inside my backpack, so they have to, you know, take everything out. And I'm just gonna put it in my handbag so that I have it with me at all times, and it makes me feel, you know, more secure, more at ease whenever I'm traveling, because it's, you know, it's my friend. I want it with me, and I feel better when I have it with me. So the next thing that I usually bring with me when I'm traveling is a pack of incense. Now, I'm not going to show you the brand that I use, but I'm just going to show you the incense sticks that I use, because whenever I'm traveling, this is far easier to take with you. It's usually, you know, they usually come in little carton tubes, and you know, this is very, very easy to take with you. It doesn't take a lot of space. It's very small. Usually at home, I tend to use the incense in grains, which is, you know, it's amazing. It makes a lot of smoke as well. So if you do use that, just be sure, you know, to open the window afterwards and, you know, let your room air, like the fresh air come in and the smoke come out. And even more so if you're living with animals, with pets like I do, because, you know, the smoke for pets is not the best. So be very careful when you use incense in grains. And yeah, but if you feel like you're traveling and it's easier for you, you can actually, you know, take the grains with you. But I do prefer the sticks whenever I'm traveling, because it's easier, it doesn't take much space. And yeah, whenever I'm going, even if, you know, people don't have maybe the incense holders, I can actually use a little the cork top for the bottles, like the wine bottles, and I can stick my stick incense inside the little thing, and that will do. So I don't need anything fancy to, you know, to light my incense and let it burn. So the next thing that I usually take with me, and I never travel without, it's a talon. Now, what's a talon? For that, I'm going to need the help of my teacher and my husband to explain it to you guys. So he's going to come in the video and tell you a little bit more about the talon, which is this one. So it's kind of a smaller wand that I usually use, you know, I put it in my hair and I use it to hold my hair, and I use it as a wand whenever I need to practice and I'm far from home. So usually I practice daily, at least the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. So of course you can use your finger to do that, there's nothing wrong with that, but since I have this, I'd rather have it with me and practice, you know, my rituals with the talon. So the next thing you can take with you, and I always take with me, and I wear it every single day of my life, is a pendulum. And I'm gonna show you mine in a second, if I can actually get the thingy here. Okay, so this is the pendulum I use, and this is also my wedding ring. It was my husband's grandfather's wedding ring, and this is the ring with which he proposed. So I use this one as a pendulum because, of course, you know, it has a lot of history and a lot of energy, and also because it's too big for me, so I want to have it with me every day, and this is the way I found to actually wear it every day. So yeah, whenever you're traveling, a pendulum is very, very useful, especially if you wear it as a necklace like I do. It's something that you have with you every day of your life. Because, you know, sometimes there are questions that you need answers to, and those questions can be, you know, asked to the pendulum, and you can get, straight answers from your pendulum, so I never travel without. And as I said, this pendulum is very special for me, so I wear it every day. I wouldn't leave it behind for anything in the world. So the next thing you can take with you, if you feel like you're going away and you're gonna need to practice your magic, maybe cast a spell, it's a very small tea light candle. This is like very easy, it's very cheap, it doesn't take much space. I usually go with white candles because, you know, if I have to cast a spell and I'm not home and I cannot, you know, bring with me all the candles and all the colors that I need, so I just take a little white candle. Because I don't know if you know, and if you don't, please go check out my teacher's YouTube profile and all of his videos, because he will explain better than I do in this very short time. A white candle, the color white actually contains all the colors of the spectrum. So if you're in need to cast a spell and you don't have anything else at hand, or you cannot bring with you anything else, just use a white candle and it will work. It will have less correspondences, of course, because, you know, when we choose a color for a color candle, we are adding correspondence to our spell, so it's stronger. But if we cannot do that, we can actually cast the spell anyway with a white candle. Maybe it won't be as strong, but it will definitely work. Now, maybe some of you, I don't usually do that, but some of you may need to take your grimoire with you when, you know, you're traveling or you're away from home, because maybe you needed to, you know, remember, read again all the rituals before performing them if you don't know them by heart. Or maybe you need to check your grimoire for correspondences or for anything related to your magic. So that's something that you can also take with you when you're traveling. I usually don't do that because I usually stay away just, you know, a few days, a week, just up to a week. So I don't need my grimoire usually for that. But it's a very helpful tool if you want. It's it's your magic condensed in one book, in one notebook. So feel free to take it with you if you're leaving home. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about, but again, for this one, I'm going to ask my teacher to help me explain it better to you. I'm not sure if it's going to be in this video or in the next video coming up. But something that you can take with you, it's a portable altar. Now, this is mine. It's a little metallic box, like it's very, very small. It's portable, of course, doesn't take much space. And inside, I'll try to show you. I've got a few things. Now, I will put a picture of it as well, but you know, usually there's some incense, there's a tea light candle, there's some paper and a small pencil. There could be some cord, and yeah, that's pretty much the basic that you need, like the basic things you need when you're traveling, if you want to take with you everything in a very, very small package. You can do that. I'm gonna put pictures of it at the end of the video. So yeah, one more thing you can take with you, if you are advanced enough in casting spells, what you can do is, you know, enchanting objects to take with you. For example, you can cast a protection spell and link it to a ring or a necklace, you know, or a bracelet as well. So if you do have any enchanted objects, and you know, if they are enchanted with protections, that's very, very useful to take with you. Never leave your home without your enchanted objects. If you know, if they're for protection, you want to be protected at any time, whenever you leave your house. So you know, especially if you're traveling and you're not home, when you can actually cast a spell if you need to, like a protection spell. You can cast it immediately if you need to, but if you have enchanted an object with a protection spell, that's actually a very, very good thing to have on you at all times. So that said, yeah, these are my magical implements that I take with me whenever I'm traveling. Then once again, I usually stay away from home up to a week, so I don't take much with me in terms of, you know, magical implements, because I don't think I'm gonna need them for just, you know, a week staying away from home. But if you want, you can also take much more with you. That also depends on how you're traveling. So if you're traveling by plane, you're gonna need to have a bigger suitcase. And as you know, some things cannot go on a plane, like if you use a magical dagger, for example, that cannot go on a plane. That's different if you're traveling by train and you need to go from point A to point B and be away for a few days. And if you really need your dagger to practice your magic in those days that you're going to be away from home, you can actually take it with you. That also depends, there are restrictions on all the traveling vehicles that we're using. So just remember to check the restrictions every time and before you go, you go on a travel, on a trip or whatever. Just, be aware that there are restrictions and they're in place for a good reason. So you cannot take with you something like a magical implement and that's going to be taken away from you. That would be that would be a very bad thing to happen to a witch or a wizard, I think. Yeah. So yeah, just I hope this video was a little bit helpful for you guys. I wish I had something like this when I first started to practice, because as I've said in some of my other videos, I started to be interested in magic when I was very young, but I started to practice only a few years ago. And back then I was living in London and my home is in Italy, so I had to travel back and forth whenever I wanted to go home and visit my parents. And a video like this would have actually been very helpful for me when I didn't have the knowledge that I have today on, what is the easier and cheapest and, smaller things that I can take with me whenever I'm traveling. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope you like it. Please, if you do, leave a comment below. I will be very happy to read you and get back to you as soon as I can. And that's it for today, guys. So I will see you in a next video, and until next time, as always, may the gods be with you.